Now I'd like to invite Professor Dr. Georgi Schott, and he is going to approach some aspects that are very interesting in terms of education. Please, Georgi, the screen is yours. You can present yourself from other information that you would like to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I guess it's still morning in Brazil. Thank you very much, Jefferson, and all organizers for inviting me to give a talk at this event. It's both a pleasure and an honor. This will be actually a short introduction into our digital health masters that was previously called Masters of Medical Informatics. And before that, I will share some thoughts on the recent developments that could explain actually why we decided to rename it from medical informatics to digital health, including a brief overview of some concepts and definitions, trying to address the question whether this name transition is an indicator of any paradigm shift in digital health or health IT education. I will also provide a few words on the global digital health course that we are currently developing, as well as on CONEGID and on the DigiHealth Day series hosted by our school. Who am I in brief? I was trained and worked as a physician and surgeon and did my PhD at Yerevan State Medical University in Armenia. I have about 12 years of experience in the field, primarily through my role as the founding president of the Armenian Association of Telemedicine. In 2015, I was invited to the Deggendorf University to lead the newly founded master's program in medical informatics, which, as I've already mentioned, is currently being renamed, rebranded, and reformed into Master of Digital Health, completing the transition in August this year. And since we will be talking about some terms and concepts with relation to digital health, I chose as an epigraph to this short talk the first phrase from the John's Gospel, saying in the beginning was the Word. You certainly also noticed in the past decades this dynamic source of the terms used to describe the application of information communication technologies in medicine and healthcare, which is well illustrated by the graph from Meisters and others. Indeed, if in 1980s we were mostly speaking of telemedicine and telehealth, focusing on telecommunications, on transferring data at a distance, and on clinical services. Then in 1990s and closer to 2000s, the term e-health appeared and became ubiquitous, reflecting a focus on internet, on information systems, move from prevention to rehabilitation, and on health rather than disease. Then the 2000s saw rapid developments in the field of portable devices and wireless networks with the introduction of the term mHealth, with a focus on mobile devices, SMS first and then apps, with an aim of improving portability and availability of health services. And that was perhaps the first time when we started talking more and more of the patient as a partner in prevention and therapy. And lastly, in the beginning, or rather since mid last decade, the majority of experts began speaking of digital health. This evolution was also reflected in several recent WHO policy documents. I'm sure you are all quite familiar with that mention, quote, that moving from e-health to digital health puts more emphasis on digital consumers with a wide range of smart devices and connected equipment, together with other innovative and evolving fields such as the Internet of Things and the more widespread use of artificial intelligence and big data analytics. Those domain terms should somehow also be put in context with the scientific disciplines of medical and health informatics, bioinformatics, or health telematics. I'm sure you're also familiar with the graph that was published in one of the Frost and Sullivan reports that was an attempt to illustrate the relationships between all those fields or concepts. We decided to refine and update a little bit that illustration, which resulted in the version that you're seeing on the right side. So we see digital health as encompassing e-health, the latter including telehealth, and telehealth in turn including telemedicine, all the above being domains of knowledge and practice, while health and medical informatics being rather a scientific discipline describing approaches to data and information management, with health telematics focusing more on the technical aspects or technical underlying approaches to moving data across the distance. And bioinformatics extends also beyond human applications. And of course, this reflects just our understanding, and you're most welcome to challenge this picture or to share your opinion or vision. We have also attempted to define the subdomains of digital health. Again, feel free to suggest your own categorization or classification. We see the following 8 subdomains: the electronic health records and health information systems, as well as health information exchange, telehealth, telemedicine, virtual visits, mobile health and digital therapeutics, digital imaging, enhanced visualization and intervention techniques, sensors, wearables, RPM and AL, health data analytics and artificial intelligence, as well as biomarkers, omics, and precision medicine. So the scope of digital health knowledge, skills, and competencies should, in our opinion, include a combination of the above, the fundamentals of medicine and healthcare delivery, including healthcare research, the computer science knowledge, skills, and competencies in databases, in networks, in software, as well as the data and information management, which is, again, the scientific core subject of medical or health informatics. Importantly, of course, also the competencies in the field of development, design, development, deployment, and management of digital health solutions, various subcomponents listed above. Of course, also no less important, evaluation of digital tools and systems with regard to data protection, regulation, and ethics. Now, how all that complexity has been affecting, or that dynamic has been affecting education and careers in health IT. Traditionally, health IT staff were computer scientists or IT people with often rather limited knowledge of medicine and healthcare. On the other hand, telemedicine, telehealth, and e-health traditionally resided within the realm of medical profession, as we know, pioneers coming mostly from medical domain, with some additional IT knowledge and skills. Obviously, medical and health informatics education has been around since the second half of the 20th century, even in the pre-personal computer era, and has been focusing on data and information management. These specialties, at least in the Central European countries, were traditionally considered more under computer sciences rather than health sciences, although we know that in some nations, medical informaticians were specializing also from medicine. Now, the most important in our opinion is that digital health is not only or not so much about technology, but rather about the healthcare processes and workflow changes. And I would join here many of my colleagues saying that digital health is perhaps at least 2/3, if not 3/4, healthcare processes and change management, and only 1/3, let's say, or even 1/4, making the technology work. And that is why we consider digital health to be well above and beyond health IT, in the direction of what we call the digital transformation of health systems. That also results in development of the new job roles currently, such as the CDO, Chief Digital Officer, which was introduced relatively recently, but just a survey, if you days ago that I heard a survey conducted by HIMSS showed that approximately 1/3 of healthcare providers in the United States already employ CDOs. And that is currently moving also to Europe and elsewhere. So is there or is there not, in our opinion, there is a need to foster new interdisciplinary professionals specializing in this unique field with something like a merger of or blending or interaction at least between, permit me to say, medical and IT mindsets. And this is essentially what we have been trying to achieve in the past few years, and what we will be trying to achieve through our digital health masters at European Campus Rottalin of Deggendorf Institute of Technology, which is the institutional member of the ISFTH. And our campus is an international branch of DIT, offering among others, this MDH, our new masters. We're located in the center of European economic region, as we like to say, im Herzen Europas, in the heart of Europe. And all our study programs are taught in English with no tuition fees for local and international students. So we think of our masters, of our MDH, as of an interdisciplinary program with strong management and research components, and we prepare our graduates for taking over leadership positions in the digital health industry to drive the digital transformation of healthcare, not only in Germany, but worldwide. In this slide, I just wanted to show the overview of our new MDH curriculum. We like to call it convergence, merger, and divergence, with students coming from biomedical background taking fundamentals of computer science, bringing them to necessary level, and students coming from technical background being given fundamentals of medicine. Then the central block delivers core competencies to all students in the areas of healthcare, digital health proper, as well as research methodology and soft skills. And before doing the final master's thesis, the students also have an opportunity to further specialize in any 2 out of 4 specialty tracks listed here: digital health management of program and projects, digital health entrepreneurship, product and startup managers, digital health data scientists, and digital health software developers or software engineers. I would like also to briefly mention a project that we're working on right now, which is the Global Digital Health project, aiming to develop and pilot an online course on digital health in various countries. The course will basically consist of 2 parts. The general part, presenting or covering topics in global health, in healthcare management, in health research, health informatics, as well as the subdomains of digital health that we've listed above, and of course the regulatory, legal, and ethics aspect, with the second part, the special part, being a review of countries' health systems and digital health landscapes or ecosystems, like one of our colleagues said. This is something that we like to call country analysis. This builds on the teaching methodology that we have been using here at European Campus since the inception of our medical informatics masters. So we cover the funding, services, access, resources, the available technology solutions, uptake of those solutions, as well as regulatory frameworks, and of course, primarily the policy measures, country by country. By that, we will be looking at achieving or giving the students opportunity to learn how different health systems in different countries approach digitalization in order to critically analyze the successes and limitations, and with the final goal, of course, to support the move towards universal health coverage. Last but certainly not least, I wanted also to present CONEGID, as I mentioned. The need to streamline approaches to digital health education across disciplinary, cultural, and national boundaries was, in fact, the motivation behind the recent initiative of the Consortium of Educational Institutions in Digital Health under the auspices of the ISFTH. With a vision of a harmonized approach to digital transformation of healthcare worldwide through recognition of digital health needs and streamlining digital health education, aspiring to be a global platform of academics in digital health for sharing knowledge, expertise, content, and capacity in digital health education, research, and development. You can see now the founding partners of CONEGID, Rio de Janeiro State University from Brazil, Fondation Bordeaux Université from France, our school, the Deggendorf Institute of Technology, People's Friendship University of Russia, and the University of KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. And we already have also two relatively new, recently joined partners, the Savonia University from Finland and Universidad del Valle from Bolivia. Although we started working on this project essentially in late 2019, the official launch of the consortium took place at this special session at the time of the DigiHealth Day, a virtual DigiHealth Day, which is a recurring series of educational and scientific events that we started last year, consisting of run-up workshops and invited talks on different digital health topics in spring, summer, and a single-day scientific symposium held on the second Friday in November with participation of recognized experts from around the world. So this is also a new and evolving concept, the CONEGID, and we will be convening our next major session at the time of this year's DigiHealth Day on November 12, 2021. And I would like also to take a moment to invite our attendees and participants to check the website of DigiHealth Day. Unfortunately, I know that we have the date conflict with the Global Summit, but perhaps some of the attendees will be able and willing to join any of the DigiHealth Day events. I would also like to encourage our participants to participate in a survey on digital health education needs and practices around the world. And the link to that survey will be shared with you by the organizers of this event. Thank you very much for following this talk, ladies and gentlemen, and above all, stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Georgi, for your presentation. I think you approach very important subjects that we still need globally to discuss, which is the taxonomy and the lexicon of all these terms and activities in digital health. So we can have a more comprehensible discussions globally, trying to have some terms or words to have the same meaning for everyone. So it's important task, and there are some organizations that are trying to build up working groups for the suggestions and discussions on that, including joining with WHO. We approach, unfortunately, time goes by so quickly. We're approaching the end of our meeting, but before, let's see if you have time for one or two questions. But I would like to invite Flavia Queiroz. She's our show manager from the Global Summit, and she's going to give some information for all participants. Just speaking Portuguese a bit. Flávia, por favor, fique à vontade para sua fala.
Olá, bom dia a todos. Meu nome é Flávia, obrigada, Dr. Jefferson. Sou a show manager do Global Summit, Telemedicine and Digital Health, que acontece entre os dias 9 e 12 de novembro. Obrigada aí pela participação de todos nesse 16º ARMAP super especial. Thanks to all guest speakers. Esse warm-up é em parceria com a International Society of Telemedicine and E-Health, onde os palestrantes são membros dessa importante sociedade, que é apoiadora também do Global Summit. Como em todos os warm-ups, nós sorteamos 5 inscrições para o Global Summit em novembro, tá? Então, eu já vou aqui anunciar os ganhadores, que a gente está com um tempo bem limitado. Em primeira mão, também gostaria de avisá-los que, a partir do dia 1º de julho, vamos abrir as inscrições. Então, acompanhem as nossas comunicações, fiquem até o final do evento, façam perguntas. No final dos 30 minutos, nós vamos abrir para perguntas e os nossos convidados vão responder todas. Muito obrigada. Aqui eu vou compartilhar. Vamos lá. Rapidinho. Não aparece aqui para compartilhar a tela. Bom, eu vou falar aqui, então, quem são os ganhadores, tá? Que eu não consegui compartilhar.
Pode falar os nomes?
Posso falar, peraí, deixa eu pegar aqui. Vamos lá. Os sorteados são Beatriz Cristiane de Freitas, Isabel Cristina Souza, Eduardo Picelli Vicente, Paulo Camisotti e Laís Vasconcelos de Macedo. Nós vamos mandar um e-mail informando o código de desconto, o código cortesia, para que vocês consigam se inscrever. Muito obrigada, boa continuidade de evento para todos.
Obrigado, Flávia. Parabéns aos ganhadores. Aproveitem que esse vai ser um evento de muita oportunidade de conhecimento e de experiências. Unfortunately, we are, I know, in the end of our time for this meeting, but before closing, I would like to ask to each of you for, less than 1 minute, final words, advices, everything we'd like to say that fits on this 1 minute for our audience. Please start in the same order with Carol, then Professor Ganapati, then Claudia, and then Georgi, and finally Frank.
Yeah, thank you all very, very much, particularly Jefferson and your staff and your helpers and supporters, and Frank and everybody. I enjoyed this very much. I heard some very interesting new items, and I wish you all and us all together a good progress on this, and maybe see you again in, November, or maybe next year in November in Sao Paulo. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Carl. Professor Ganapati.
Thank you, Dr. Jefferson. I belong to the BC era. I don't mean before Corona, I mean before computers. I was the last neurosurgeon in India who was trained before the CT scan or computers came into the healthcare system. I just want to leave one message. I strongly believe that technology is a means to achieve an end and not an end by itself. I would like to quote Lars Lexell, the inventor of the gamma knife 50 years ago. That was the world's most sophisticated technology. He said, I repeat, a fool with a tool is still a fool. And I think as a doctor, as a clinician, tender loving care, I would like to wipe the tears off the patient. And I believe that I can still do it virtually on a big screen. I am worried that the younger doctors of today were absolutely fantastic. I mean, they use 5G, and I'm sure even telesurgery is going to happen sometime, etc., etc. They have forgotten. I think a doctor, a nurse should never ever forget that primarily we took up this profession not for digital health, not for telemedicine, not for e-health, m-health, i-health, XYZ health, but basically to wipe the tears from a patient. And I think technology should not depersonalize a human being, and we should have more time now to empathize, sympathize, commiserate with the patient, because the technology is going to take over the mundane routine activities.
Thank you, Professor Ganapati, for your words. Claudia, please.
Yes, I add my thanks to everyone. I enjoyed every presentation. I always learn new things. I would also endorse the multidisciplinary nature of our business. And I love that a fool with a tool is still a fool, because we have to be smart and far-reaching in addition to being kind and thoughtful when we deal with our patients and clients and people with healthcare needs. So I'm very happy to be part of this organization and this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claudia. Georgi, please.
Yes, I would like also to thank very much once again you personally, Jefferson, and the organizers and the ISFTH and all colleagues, experts joining me on this fantastic panel. And of course, thanks very much to all who followed us, either live or who are watching us on demand. I think it's indeed high time for digital health. I'm absolutely, there's no doubt that we will be seeing more and more amazing developments in the future, and it will be ever important to make the better sense and to indeed to find out the optimal and most efficient ways of incorporating digital technologies to make healthcare indeed better, more accessible, more affordable for all. There's the few words that are placed on the website of our study program. They say that the digital health is the future, and that future is now. And this is my message to all young people. Also, as an educator, I have to address also people, students of digital health, who might be choosing that career. They're going to be fantastic developments. Once again, above all, I wish all of us to be healthy, to be safe, and I do look forward to the next opportunities to see you all in person, physically. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado.
Thank you, Georg. Frank, your final words.
Well, that's quite a responsibility. I want to thank you all, Jefferson, Carl, Professor Gampati, Claudia, and Georgi. You're all faithful and supportive ISFTH members. And it's you people and all your colleagues in the society that make it the good reason to for the society to do what it does. And hopefully we do it as well as possible, but we do it as good as possible or as well as possible as our members are themselves. I said earlier, time is the only thing you cannot buy or sell. I'll add another thing about that. What you build without time, time destroys. And so we don't have to worry that all this will be built on solid ground, and time will do a job, and we are responsible to let time do that job. And also, let's not forget, it's all about the patients to it. And we are all potential patients sooner or later, even if it's only growing or getting old. And so we serve ourselves. And by serving ourselves, we can serve the others, because we understand better what it's all about. Thank you again also for organizing it. And we look forward to the Global Summit in November. And then again, good luck in all what you do. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Frank. And I would like again to express my deepest thanks to all of you that have given your time and knowledge and experience being speakers in this warm-up of the Global Summit, to Carl, to Professor Ganapati, to Claudia, Georgi, and also to you, Frank. I think we have, in the International Society for Telemedicine Health, a very important locus for people to join and work together to development not only of digital health, telemedicine, and telehealth, but also to develop the human side of all these activities towards the care of people, towards the care of patients. That is our ultimate goal. So thank you again. I speak my final words in Portuguese.